Morning, boys and girls. Good morning, boys and girls. Good morning, boys and girls. All right, all right, all right, all right. Are you geeked about this? Are you really geeked? Not really, kind of, sort of. Well, I'm Jennifer Beasley, and I'm the STEM director for Little Rock School District, and I absolutely love STEM. I can't decide if I like science, math, technology, engineering. I like it all because that's how my brain works. And so we decided to do something special. Can you say the first? Can you say the first? Can you say the first? This is the first ever STEM, Totality STEM event ever. You're the first. You're the first to listen to all of these speakers that came, especially here today, to talk to you. And I see a lot of females out there, a lot of ladies say, hey. I'm a girly girl, so I'm like a tomboyish girly girl. I like my fingernails painted, but I like to get dirty with the business with engineering and science. I really don't like chemistry that much, but I gotta use it too. So I'm so glad you came today. And I have another partner in love, not crime, but in love, Dr. Latrell. Come up here and say hi. Give him a better clap.
All right, we're gonna have to do better than that, all right? Can we clap? No? No claps? There we go. All right. I was about to say, I see Crystal Hill out there. Is Crystal Hill in the house? I can't hear you. I said I can't hear you. All right, I saw Ridge Road. Is Ridge Road in the house? I still can't hear you. All right, I know it's early in the morning, but I want everybody to hold up the number 4. Can everybody hold up the number 4? All day long, you're going to hear the term for STEM and for totality. And the reason why we're using the number 4, because guess how many districts are represented here today? 4 districts. Today we'll have nearly 4,000 fifth graders coming through these halls, and all together watching our videos of all of our speakers, our curriculum, our resources that are posted online throughout all 4 districts. Nearly 40,000 students are going to get to benefit from all of the STEM ideas and projects and concepts that we have out there. Very first time we've ever done this, and so I want you guys to have fun, but also I want you guys to learn. And as you're looking at all of our STEM projects, as you're listening to our speakers, I want you to view yourself as what you can be, all right, when you grow up. Because you're going to get to hear speakers that come from all walks of life, and they're going to tell you, you can make it. You can do this. They're scientists. They're NASA scientists. We've got people that they run organizations. We have someone who ran for governor of a state coming today. So you can do anything you set your minds to do, and all of your teachers that are around here, they're here to support you. We're here to support you today, and we want you to have fun. So on the count of 3, I want everybody to hold up the number 4, and I want you to say, for STEM, for totality. Can you do it? All right, let's do it. Count of 3. 1. One more time. For STEM, for totality. One more time. For STEM, for totality. All right, great job, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Latrell. Okay, now I did say I like to get dirty, but I know that I can only do one thing at a time. So I'm gonna read some things while I click. So you see the 4 districts we have in this room: Pulaski County Special School Districts and North Little Rock School District. And I love both of them. I live in North Little Rock. I used to work for Pulaski County. Currently, I work for Little Rock School District. And Jacksonville used to be with Pulaski County. So this is all love right here, all right? We're not competing against each other, but we're loving. So I'm going to try to read and click at the same time because I know I can only do one thing. So I said that because you see our logos up here. Okay. Well, Dr. Latrell, I told you he's my partner in love. He didn't even wait for me to call on him. Okay, so we have Dr. Renee Horton, and I'll tell you a little bit more about her. We also have Dr. Chris Jones. He will be speaking at 11, and you will be out there rotating around. And we have Elizabeth Whitley. She's our speaker also later in the day. People who are sponsoring us or organizations, we have the Arkansas STEM Coalition and Energy. Give them a hand because they're the reasons why that you have your Eclipse glasses. They bought Eclipse glasses for every student, every worker in the state of Arkansas. So we need to give them another hand. All right, all right, all right, all right. We also have Soma, South of Maine. They are one of our sponsors and vendors. We have Arkansas Economics and Central Arkansas Water. Give everybody a hand. All right, all right, all right, all right. So whenever you get thirsty, go to the big water tank outside. We're thinking about being conscious about our earth. All right? We are going to give a special thanks to these people. Our Totality STEM Planning Committee. Let me tell you about them. We all are bossy. So it took a lot for us to first come together, but we love each other now, and we depend on them. And we have Jacksonville, North Pulaski, Little Rock, North Little Rock, Pulaski County School Districts, and all of our volunteers. So if you see a shirt like this, they can help you. We're volunteering. All right, we're down to who you came to hear. I have to give Dr. Horton a justice. I really don't know Dr. Horton, but I feel like I know her because we've been calling each other and texting each other. But I found out about her from another introduction that I met, or person I met. And I just fell in love with her when I heard about her. And then she'll tell you a little bit more about herself, but she has some things that some people would be like, I can't work for NASA. I'm a woman. I'm a black female. I don't think like everybody else. I have other things going on with me. But she has gone beyond her limitations because she is limitless. I'm going to tell you some more about her. She has a long biography that shares more of her accomplishments on the Totality STEM website. So we'll tell you how to go there. But I'm going to share a few things. She loves science and NASA. She's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. All right, Louisiana. I used to live there, and my mom is from Louisiana. My daughter works in Louisiana. She has studied electrical engineering and material science at the Louisiana State University, LSU, and the University of Alabama. She's the first African-American to get a PhD from the University of Alabama in this field. Now Dr. Horton works for NASA she got a promotion, so what's on here is different, electrified powertrain flight demonstration project airworthiness deputy. I don't even know what that is, so give her a big old hand. I don't even know what that is, okay? She's also the president of the National Society of Black Physicists and has spoken at many events around the world, inspiring people with her love of science. And I love, love, love physics. So she's my kind of girl, like a girlfriend. I love you, Dr. Horton. Everybody give a hands up for Dr. Horton. Yay!
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I had to catch a flight at 4:30 a.m., so y'all gonna have to give me a little bit of energy, all right? But first I want to say shout out to Logan, who came in repping Crystal Hill. He was like, I'm repping. So if y'all repping Crystal Hill with Logan, let me know that. All right, and then I have to give a special shout out to Dr. Luttrell's two kids that are at home and couldn't be here, but I want them to know that they daddy rock in STEM, and so we want to say thank you for letting them tune in and watch this too. All right, so can you hear me all the way in the back? All right, great. I want to tell you, today I'm going to talk about be bold, be brave, and be amazing. Simply because other people will tell you you can't, but I want to make sure that you know that you can today. I always have to start off with a little housekeeping. Yes, I do work for NASA, but NASA, be telling me to tell y'all that if something come out my mouth wrong, they ain't got nothing to do with it. So I'm letting you know. I prepared the PowerPoints. If you have any questions, you can ask me, and I'll answer you. So I want to talk about exploration. How many of you like to explore? How many of you like to explore? I got a few. Well, my exploration started off in my grandmother's yards. So at my mom's mom, which is my mom's mom and my grandmother, she had flowers everywhere. And they were beautiful. And the birds and the bees and the butterflies all came. And I got to learn about catching caterpillars and watching them turn into beautiful butterflies at my grandmother's house. At my dad's mom's house, it was a train track that ran behind us. And I would put the pennies and quarters on the train tracks. And we would watch them get squashed. I know, squashed, right? But what happens is the material got displaced. And so that was my first real love for physics in learning displacement with something simple as watching it get squashed. How many of you have gone to those discovery museums and you put the pennies in there and you crank it and then it flattens it out? That is displacement. So if any of you have not done that, you can go to one of those centers and actually do that, and you can engage in physics. And then in my own backyard, we had a tree that had honeybees in it. And every year we would call them out. They would come and get the honeybees out. And I watched that cycle happen every year. In my own backyard, I had my chemistry set, blew the windows out of my first little tin hut. So my first little science lab did not last long, right? The catch is my dad gave me a telescope when I turned 9. And when I got that telescope, it made me realize I, too, could be a scientist. It also made me realize that there was so much more to the world than just me. So how many of you think that there's another being or some other stuff out in the universe? Yeah. See, that's how I felt at 9 when I got it. The catch is things happen along our lives that changes it, and it changes our path completely. Well, my parents got a divorce at 13. And when my parents got a divorce, we became really poor. To the point where sometimes my mom couldn't keep the water on, and she would call and say, you guys need to go fill up the bathtub, so we would have water for the next 2 days. We still had to go to school. And we were poor during that time, and this was when I was about 13 and 14, and it was really hard. I started college at 16, and I joined the Air Force ROTC. And I had decided then that I was going to be a pilot, and I was going to go off and be an astronaut. At 17, I went to get my physical, and I actually found out that I had a hearing loss. And it was such a significant hearing loss that I ended up having to wear hearing aids. I didn't qualify to be a pilot. I didn't qualify to be an astronaut. And I honestly thought I didn't qualify to work for NASA. I ended up getting pregnant with my son, getting married, dropping out of school, traveling overseas, living there for 3 years in Germany, coming back, and then me and this guy separated. So I'm talking to the ladies right now, right? Where my ladies at in the crowd? Yeah. See, y'all right at the beginning of you think you like these little boys. I thought I liked this big boy, and it didn't work out. The thing is, I probably should have waited. And I'm asking you to do the same. Just because he think he like you, if he ain't going the extra mile already, he don't really like you. A few years later, I gave birth to my daughter. And my daughter is what changed my life. They handed her to me, and she looked like a live baby doll. She had all this beautiful curly hair, and she was beautiful and dark chocolate. And I was looking at her, and immediately I was thinking, the world needs to be different for her to walk through this world. So I went back to school with 3 children. And at that time, I got my undergraduate degree with 3 kids. Was it crazy? A little bit. Our house was always crazy, but I'm glad I did it. So when I tell you to be bold, being bold is defined as showing an ability to take risks, confident and courageous. For me to go back to school, I was being bold and standing in who God had actually proclaimed I would be. So I ended up with a BS in electrical engineering with a minor in math. I am a glutton for punishment, and I love science, and I love math. And then I went on to get a PhD from the University of Alabama, and as she said, I was the first one to finish in that field. And I was recently inducted into my college alumni hall of distinction. I'm not going to stay on this too long, but I actually am a welder, and my dissertation was doing the welding that holds our rocket together that we are now flying for NASA. So being brave is ready to face and endure pain while showing no pain. But even though you're not showing this pain, I don't ever want anybody to suffer in pain in silence. Get you some friends, get you a network, get you some of your buddies together, right? And then talk to them about, hey, I want to be able to do this. I think I'm bold enough. I think I'm brave enough to do this, but I am a little afraid. And I just want to make sure you guys are supporting me in that. How many of you got buddies that are going to support you? All right, we're already ahead of the game. Well, I became a full-time NASA employee. So remember I said, I did not think with my disability I would be able to work for NASA. And here I am, a NASA employee with a little bit more than almost 15 years in the game with them. But in 2012, I started in Alabama, and I was living in Alabama, and I was there for 2 years, and then I cried like a baby, y'all. Adults still cry, and I was begging to go back home. And they sent me back to Louisiana, to New Orleans, to the factory where we actually build the rocket. So I was in New Orleans up until 2021, almost 2022 time frame, where they actually built the rocket. And I got to see bunches of pieces of the rocket. But while I was in Alabama, it was the first time that they were going to actually make hardware that was going into space. And I got to oversee that project, the welding on that project. What they allowed us to do, because it was a test article, was to write our name on the test article. And so my dream was to go into space, right? Well, when they launched this, my name, my mama name, my daddy name, my kids' name, I got 3 of them, y'all. They name, the guy I was dating, another story, ladies. Stop right there. Don't be putting nobody else's name on there that ain't got a ring on your finger. Because this thing went up into space and came back into the atmosphere and burned up, and so did that relationship. Go figure. They transferred me down to New Orleans, and I started working on Artemis. This is the year for women and women in science, simply because Artemis is Apollo's twin sister. So who know the Apollo missions that went into space and took us to the moon, right? Well, Artemis is his twin sister, and she will take us back to the moon, and she won't stop there. She'll end up taking our astronauts all the way to Mars. Does it pick up the sound? Where's Roger? So what you're watching here is the launch for Artemis 1. And they're actually talking in the background, and they're talking about what this launch meant to NASA. Because how many of you knew the space shuttle? How many of you thought NASA was going away after the space shuttle? Because see, a lot of people thought NASA wasn't in the space business anymore. And it wasn't until we actually got ready to launch again, but it was the first time we were launching for the moon and into deep space from our American soil. So we launch all the time to ISS, which is the International Space Station, but the International Space Station is in low Earth orbit, and the moon is a lot further away. So this is what it looked like the day that we got to celebrate a successful launch. Charlie Blackwell Thompson is the first woman launch director that we actually had for NASA. And so what they're depicting is when the rocket goes, it launches off in stages, and pieces of those stages drop off. And what we ended up doing was launching, going around the Earth, circling the Earth, and then going out around the back side of the moon. And sometimes you'll hear it as the dark side of the moon, right? So we went out around the back side of the moon. It's really not dark. And then we came back, and then that actually landed in the ocean. We went to retrieve it. So you'll see it coming back in. The crazy thing is, depending on where these rockets are coming back into the atmosphere, you can actually see it. So when they are landing not far, when they're coming through and landing in Florida, I can actually see them coming across in Louisiana, and it just looks like a big old streak of light going and going and going. And that's them re-entering the atmosphere. And so there are times you can actually catch it. We talk about me getting a promotion. So for 9 months, I went to work on what we call the low boom flight demonstrator. And the low boom flight demonstrator is an airplane that goes so fast that when it takes off, it breaks the sound barrier and you hear a boom. And I'm talking about a boom big enough to shake a building. Well, that's not good if you're doing that over people. And so this project is doing a design of this plane so that that noise does not happen. And that will fly next year. And I worked on this project for 9 months. So you see my cool Hawaiian shirt down here, right? So the catch is, with NASA on Fridays, we wear these Hawaiian shirts to represent who we dealing with. So next time, Crystal Hill is gonna need a Hawaiian shirt so that they can represent. Y'all don't want a Hawaiian shirt? Okay, all right. The catch is, I became the electrified powertrain flight demonstrator airworthiness deputy, and what I actually do is I make sure planes that are going to be hybrid electric planes are safe to fly. Safe to fly. You get that? So we are putting together like a research project. How many of you guys have built things at home or built things in school, like those robots and things like that? The catch is, when you guys are building them, you don't have people on them, right? And so if it breaks while you're working it, it's okay, right? I can't do that. So when we're dealing with airplanes, we're putting people on it and they are flying. So we have to make sure it's safe. And it's my job to make sure that everybody else does their job before they get to me. This is my team that I actually work with, and this is one of our airplanes that we're actually flying. So it's a Saab 340B, and it's a passenger type plane. I am the past president for the National Society of Black Physicists. And I like to kind of tell you the things that I've done so that you understand that where you are today, regardless of where your station in life is, if you have a disability or if you just got some problems going on, right? That's not where you have to end up. So for me, as the past president of the National Society of Black Physicists, I held that office as number 2 behind another woman, and another woman has not held the office yet. But it allowed me to go to South Africa, Korea, to Brazil, to Canada, to Mexico. I'm headed to Italy with this program as well. So it's really allowed me to be able to get out and be a part of the international front. My hearing aids that I wear are really good though, right? And they help me tune in to voices so that I can actually be functional and successful in the field that I've chosen. My message to you today, though, is that I want you to be phenomenal. I want you to be the difference that the world actually needs. I want you guys to think about this. Phenomenal, extremely successful, or special in a surprising kind of way. So right now, there are people thinking that you are not going to be able to make a difference in the world. But I am telling you, it is already inside of you. And you can make that difference. So who is ready to be phenomenal? No, that's not enough people. I need you guys to think about it. I want you to think about the place you want to change in the world. And are you ready to be phenomenal? Yeah. All right. So I was a Google Black woman tech maker. I was a Google Black woman tech maker. And what that was is Google came in and went around the world and interviewed 67 people and chose 3 people. They chose people who they thought were making a big enough impact in technology, and they wanted the world to actually see them. The film actually was a documentary. It's online and you can Google it if you really want to see it. But what it talks about is the things I've gone through, why I want to make a difference in the world, because I want to make a difference in the world for you. I want when you decide whatever it is you want to do, that door is open for you to be able to walk through. This is an excerpt from the documentary, and ain't got no sound still. Look at the words. I've had a PhD for 10 years. Nobody hands anybody a PhD. You work for that. And then it says, I'm intellectually capable, and I still doubt myself. So I don't want you to think that because I'm successful at what I do, right, and that I'm good at what I do, that I don't have some doubt. Because see, right now you're going to be trying things and doing things, and there's going to be some doubt. And you're going to immediately say, I can't do that, simply because you got that little bit of doubt. And I want you to think about it. Man, Dr. Horton is probably sitting somewhere right now with a little bit of doubt. And I am. I doubt coming up here. I was like, oh my God, what if I'm not able to hear the kids when it's time for them to ask their questions? So I always have a little bit of doubt. But it doesn't stop me from pushing the limits to the place I want to go and where I want to be. So I got a few tips. I want you guys to think about what's important to you. I know your mama and daddy and them over there right now trying to tell you where you're going to be and where you're going to go. But I want you to think about what's important to you. Not what's important to you in the sense of, I really want my shoes. Not like that. I'm talking about what's important in the world, in your bigger space, that you want to change. Learn how to prioritize your goals. So if you got homework, you want to play the video game, or you want to go ride the bike, do the homework first. That's the foundation you actually need. Because if you focus on doing the homework and getting it done, then you can go do whatever it is you want to do. Be flexible and adaptable. Like today when you came in, they told you what you had to do, and if this had to change today, it would be okay. Build a network through community. I asked the front row earlier, how many of you got friends that support you and are holding you up? Now the rest of the room is in here. How many of you got friends that are supporting you and holding you up? That is your network. That is what community is. And a lot of times you guys hear us talking about things and you think it's not for kids, and it is. Because the friends you have in elementary school will be your friends you have in middle school, can be your friends you have in high school, will be the friends you have in college. The catch is, those people will know who you are, they will know the changes you've gone through, and they are going to celebrate that with you. You want to learn how to set limits and boundaries. And that means that your friend picking on you about something they think is funny, you got to say, man, I don't think that's funny. And I really want you not to do that to me. That's about setting limits and boundaries. Focus on doing things that make you happy. You got to practice self-care. Who knows what self-care is? How many of y'all practicing self-care? Polishing your nails, running in the fields, taking an extra long shower, soaking in the tub. All of that is self-care. Anything that you can do that makes you feel better about who you are, that is self-care. Learn to move with intention and purpose. And I know that that is a big statement to give you right now, but what I want you to understand about that is, if you set a goal and you are trying to achieve that goal, you are moving with intention and purpose. So it's not something you can't validate for yourself or something you can't reach. You want to move with intention and purpose. Say it for me. There you go. It may seem bad right now, but it does get better. I thought about it all the time, about how poor we were when my mom was taking care of us after the divorce. And now I look back on it and it's like, yo, that was nothing. So it may seem bad right now, but it gets better. If it's too big for you to handle, reach out for help. You can find me online. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and some other places. It ain't Twitter no more, I know. But I'm on some other places, and you can find me online. If you got a problem, contact me. If it's too big for you, go to a teacher, go to a counselor, go to another adult. Do not sit in silence with problems that you think are too big. And them little girls and them little boys, I'm back on them again. They're going to be there later. I tried to commit suicide when I was 14, behind what was a failed relationship. Ain't no relationships at 14. The thing is, If I had actually been successful at committing suicide, I would not be here with you today. I would not have achieved the dreams that I actually had. So I'm saying, if things are bad or hard, reach out to somebody. And I want you to empower yourself through affirmations and manifestations. And I know you're saying, but you don't do that. Yes, I do. This is my list that I actually wrote and I was living by. And I recited it every day for 6 years. I am intelligent. I am living in abundance. I am living in overflow. I'm his girl. I'm beautiful. I'm amazing. I'm powerful. It's got a few more on there. But I just want you to say 3 of those with me, because what I need you to understand is there are seeds that are growing inside of you. There is life that is growing inside of you. There is a dream and a purpose. And for you to have that come to life, you have to believe in you. So ready, here we go. I am powerful. I am amazing. I am intelligent. I belong in the space I want to be in. That's all I got for you. I believe you have brains in your head and you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. That is Dr. Seuss, but me and him is buddy-buddy when it comes to this one. I believe we can go where we want to go and how we want to get there. Those are my questions, and there goes my phone number. So y'all probably ain't got no phone. I'll be telling people, snap it right now. Write it down. But your teachers can give it to you. You can send me a text message. Don't call. I do not answer.
Let's give it up for Dr. Horton. All right. Thank you, Dr. Horton. You're excited to be here. Say, yeah. Say, yeah. All right, all right, all right. We like to start on time so we can end on time. And it's 10:59, and our speaker, he's going to start at 11. So I'm going to do some preliminary things. I am Jennifer Beasley. I am the STEM director for Little Rock School District. And I know you're Jacksonville, but I got to tell you something. I live in North Little Rock. I used to work in Pulaski County when Jacksonville was with Pulaski County, and I'm back in Little Rock, so I love you all. So give me a heart. I don't see everybody giving me a heart. All right. Well, this is Totality STEM on Thursday, and thank you, Jacksonville, North Pulaski, Little Rock School District, and North Little Rock, and PCSSD. So I could not have done this by myself. I have a partner in love, not in crime, but in love. I'm going to ask my partner in love, Dr. Luttrell, to come up here and tell you some things about today.
All right, let me see who's in the house. I heard Merle Taylor is in the house. Is that true? I can't hear anything. I said I heard Merle Taylor was in the house. And then someone told me Bayamita was in the house. About 2 decades ago, my first year teaching, Jacksonville Middle and Bayamita Elementary. All right, so I want to hear real loud from Bayamita. Can you get real loud? Then someone said, and I have to say it this way, Jacksonville JES. Are they in the house? Okay, they're in the house. All right, let me see. What about Bobby Lester Elementary? Anybody else in the house that I forgot? Who's in the house? Indian Hills. Oh, we got to get louder. Indian Hills. All right, waterfall. You ever heard of a California waterfall? It goes like this. Y'all ready? California waterfall. Uh-oh, let's do it for those in the back. California waterfall. All right, I am Justin Luttrell. I am the Director of STEM and Blended Learning at PCSSD. You have 4 districts coming together this year. I think it's maybe the first time all 4 metro districts have come together in unity for our students to do something fun. And we did that in this totality event. So this is what I want everybody to do. I want you to hold up the number 4. I got to see it from oh, we got some that are still there. They're thinking. Should I hold up 4? Should I not? 4, this is what this means. When I give the cue, you're going to say for STEM, for totality. Let's practice. For STEM, for totality. And this is why I want you to hold up 4, because how many districts are involved? 4. How many students will be in this hall today? Does anybody know? About 4,000. About 4,000 students. And then, if you're following online, if you're following our resources, our curriculum pages, if you're watching the speakers afterwards, we may reach up to 40,000 students throughout all 4 districts. So we are very excited about today. So before I hand this over, on the count of 3, for STEM, for totality. 1, 2, 3. Louder. All right.
How's everyone doing today? I'll hold it down here so I'm not yelling in your ears. Am I really loud? Does it hurt your ears? What if I put it right here? I'm even louder. Oh my goodness. All right, I am really excited to introduce our next speaker. So we've had 3 different speakers who are going to be here today. You guys are going to get to listen to one of them. He's a friend of mine, and he lives right here in Little Rock. Our last speaker didn't even live in the state and drove all the way in just for our event. But today, I'm going to introduce to you Dr. Chris Jones. You may recognize the name. He ran for governor, almost 2 years ago now in November. But he has a tie to science and STEM because he used to work at NASA. He interned under an astronaut at NASA. He also worked for the Arkansas Innovation Hub, which is all about science and STEM. Who has been to the Innovation Hub before? I'm sure you guys have had a field trip or 2 out there. Only 2 kids in this whole group have been to the Innovation Hub? Oh, you have 2? Okay, good. Very good. He's from Pine Bluff originally, but lives here in Arkansas. And in his whole biography that he sent me, everything about him, the highlight of his life is that he is a parent to 3 beautiful girls, and one of them is a 5th grader just like you guys. So I told him to imagine a whole bunch of his daughters sitting right here when he's talking to you guys today. So hopefully we'll have some very entertaining conversations about STEM. You're not in 5th grade? What grade are you in? You're in 3rd grade. Okay. Sorry, I just got a fly in my face. Okay, can I get a very exciting Jacksonville School District welcome to Dr. Chris Jones on 3, 2, 1.
Hey, hey. How are y'all? Good? Let me hear it again. How are y'all? Good. It's great to be here. And I need a favor, though. This is important. I need a favor. Because I want to be a cool dad. All right? No, I'm already a dad. But I want to be cool. And so I need you all, on the count of 4, you're going to scream totality at the top of your lungs. And I'm going to can we do that? Yes, sir. All right. And I'm going to get a selfie, and I'm going to tell my daughter, all 3 of them, that you all scream for me because I'm so cool. All right? We won't tell them what really happened. We won't tell them what really happened, all right? So we're going to do it on the count of 4. Why? Because there are 4 schools and 4,000 students and 40,000 people that are going to watch us. All right, here we go. On the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was supposed to be 4, but they did it on 3. Y'all are awesome. I love it. I'll let you pass, even though it's supposed to be 4. Look, I am excited to be here. This is amazing. I love science. I've always loved science. I've always loved space. I'm going to take a few minutes to tell you all, that's my family. I'm going to take a few minutes to tell you all about my journey. Then I'm going to tell you a couple secrets. But I'm also going to talk to you about the solar eclipse. But you all are probably experts on the solar eclipse by now, right? Yes, I love it. So look, my life has always been about faith, family, friendship, and mentorship. You can barely see it, but there's a guy in the bottom left corner. His name is Dr. Franklin Chang Diaz. He's an astronaut, and he went into space more times than any other astronaut. And I got to work with him, and we worked together building a rocket that's gonna go to Mars. How many of you all wanna go to space one day? Yes, I love it. How many of you all wanna go to Mars one day? I love it. I hope you go. So my inspiration, when I was about your age, a little bit younger, there was something that happened. During that year, in the 3rd grade, they wanted to put a teacher in space. They is NASA. NASA wanted to put a teacher in space. And so the teacher they were going to put in space is Krista McCullough. And she was going to be on the Challenger space shuttle. Also on that space shuttle was Ron McNair in the corner over there. I was inspired by them. And as a 3rd grader, they pulled the TV in, we got in front of it and watched it, and the space shuttle took off, and a few seconds later it blew up. It did. Because an O-ring failed. It failed. But that inspired me to want to go and work at NASA to help solve the problem so we would never again have a space shuttle to blow up. And I wanted to be an astronaut. So I took a journey from Pine Bluff, Watson Chapel, that's me in the football uniform, all the way to Morehouse College and then to NASA. And so I got to work at NASA. Now, I wanted to be an astronaut, but I could not become an astronaut. Can anybody guess why not? Because I didn't want the same thing. No, I was willing to go up. I wanted to go. Why not? I was too young, not quite. One more. I wasn't qualified. Actually, I'm going to take one more. Way at the back with the gray. Your hand was up in the gray first. Be real loud. Why could I not become an astronaut? Because I had kids? No, you can have kids. You can have kids. So, okay, all right. Well, in the pink. Because my eyesight, I can't see you. It's close. It's because I cannot hear out of this ear. I never could hear out of this ear. And so I couldn't become an astronaut to go to space, but I could work on spaceships. So I got to work on a plasma rocket. That's me. That's enough about me, because I want to talk about totality. All right? Totality. Because isn't this the coolest thing ever happening on Monday? All right, I'm going to run you through this, and then I'm going to tell you some secrets. And I'm going to actually try to save time to answer a couple of questions, because I want to do some Q&A. Is that okay? I'm looking for the people in charge. I can't see them, so maybe I'm in charge right now. What do you think? All right. So look, I love this photo because it shows, we talk a lot about the science part of totality, but there's a humanity part of totality. It's a moment in life when something is happening that none of us can control. Your parents can't control it. Your teachers can't control it. No one can, you can't control it. The moon is gonna block the sun, and I think it's a moment for all of us to come together just like you're doing here. Just like the 4 schools have come together, and it sounds to me like Jacksonville might have had the most spirit. Is that correct? Well, at the end, we're going to see who has the most spirit. We'll do that again. But what happens is, you know, the earth is revolving around the sun, and the moon is revolving around the earth. Now, we see this image all the time, but there's something that's not true about it. Who can guess what is not true about that image of the earth revolving around the sun? Yes, in the red. Red and black. Yes, you. Mm-hmm. You can't see it? You want to guess what's not true about it? Speak up so I can hear you. Hold on, let's hear what he says. I can't hear you. The earth? The one in the middle? Or the ring? The ring, okay. That's not real? Well, that's true. That is, you are correct. It is not real, but that's not what I'm looking for. Yes, sir. It's not drawn to scale. The sun looks really small. You got a different one? Huh? Okay. The sun looks really small. The earth looks really big. But in reality, you can fit 109 earths around the sun. One more guess. Guess how many earths you can fit inside the sun? How many? 1 million. 1.3 million. You can fit 1.3 million earths inside the sun. So it's not to scale, but that's okay, because when the moon gets, the reason it's not, it matters to us that it's not to scale. The reason it looks like it's to scale, though, because when you look at the moon, it looks like the moon is just as big as the sun sometimes. That's because of how close it is. You ever had to see some small print? You got to bring it up close to your face. When you bring it closer, it looks bigger. But big print far away looks really small. That's what's happening with the moon and the sun. So as you all know, when the moon blocks the sun on Monday, we're going to have a streak of darkness that's going to occur. And in that moment, as it goes across the U.S. at about 1:30, 1:40, several things will happen. And I think the coolest thing out of all of it, by the way, should you look at the sun directly? Why not? Because somebody said because you can die. You lose your eyesight. But is there any moment in which you can look at the sun directly? When? When the moon blocks the sun fully. That's the moment of totality. You can actually look at the sun. You can take your glasses off in that moment. And you'll see here, strange things will happen. It'll get colder. How much colder? Some say 20 degrees colder. The frogs will come out. The insects will come out. Animals will think it's nighttime. And it'll be really exciting. So, last thing I'll say on the eclipse. It's going to happen again when? In 2044. You all are brilliant. Now I want to end with a couple of secrets. All right? Here's secrets that I learned over life. Secrets that I'm going to share with you all because I think you're pretty cool. All right? The first secret, who can guess what that secret is? I don't know. Yes? I love to draw. No. But I love that answer. I'm actually not that good at drawing. I'm good at math, but not drawing. Yes, what's the secret? I'm an engineer. Yes, I am. That's not the secret. One more. That's close, though. That I really love space? I do really love space, but that's not the secret. The secret is, should I try? Huh? I love this, not quite. The secret is I love to solve problems. And I think in life you find the problem you want to solve. Does that make sense? Yeah. So for me, I wanted to solve the problem of the world having electricity. There are too many places in the world that don't have electricity, and I wanted everyone to have electricity. That was the problem I wanted to solve. The second and last secret is this. If I can get back to it. It's to find the thing that you're passionate about. I found out at an early age that I was passionate about space and science, and it has literally led me all over the world. Because I got to do really cool science stuff, like building a plasma rocket, like building an energy device. So we made a machine that lifted a half-ton magnet in midair. It was pretty cool. And I think you can use science to solve big problems and follow your passion. All right, so with that, I want to take just a couple of minutes, if it's okay. I'm still looking around, make sure my time is good. All right, questions? Yes. What makes the solar eclipse happen? What? Anyone know the answer to that? Who have I not called on? Have I not called on you? I've not called on you, yes. The moon. So the solar eclipse is really just the moon blocking. Imagine if, how many of y'all have little siblings? How many of you all sometimes do not like your little sibling? I know. I have older siblings and younger ones, and sometimes I don't like them. But imagine if your little sibling came up to you and they kept doing this. Like in your face, blocking your face. I'm not hitting him. I'm not hitting him. But I'm not hitting you. So every time my hand goes by his eye, I block that part of where he was looking. So he can no longer see the screen with this eye. That's what's happening with the moon. The moon is going around the earth, and at one moment, it's going to block our view of the sun. That's what the eclipse is. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty awesome. And I think it's great that you all get to experience it, and you all have some awesome teachers that are saying, here's what it really looks like. One more question. 2 questions. Okay, 2 questions. My name is Chris Jones. Did I play for the Chiefs? Who knows Chris Jones that plays for the Chiefs? I know, that's pretty cool, right? No, I do not play for the Chiefs. There is a Chris Jones that plays for the Chiefs. If that's what it takes for y'all to remember my name, that's okay. All right, last one. Who has what? Who has the most? All right, we're going to end with this, because I think that science is so cool. I love it. 1 year, my daughter had a sleepover. And you know what we did that morning? We learned some physics, and then we made bottle rockets. Yeah, we made, and they made bottle rockets that shot off, and they got to take them home. You can do cool things like that when you do science. I'm going to get to the school spirit, but last question. A lot of pressure. What? Not enough. All right, I will take one more. Yeah. So they said, how long does it take to build a big rocket? I think that's a great question to end on, because there are 3 things I want y'all to remember. Find the problem you want to solve, find the thing you're passionate about, and be persistent. Never give up. So it takes years and sometimes decades to build a rocket that's going to go to space. But as long as you keep working at it, you'll get there. Sometimes it takes years. Now, in that time, you can solve smaller problems. That's why I say find the problem you want to solve. All right, we're going to end with school spirit. How many schools do we have here? 4. What are the 4 schools? Merle, JES, College Station, Body Station, MBS, what is that, MBS? Mining Station? Bayamina? Why don't we start with Bayamina then? All right, Bayamina. Is that right? Did I get it right? Huh? Buy me a sandwich, is that what it says? No, the school is Bayamina, right? Okay, so let's see how much school spirit Bayamina has. What do you got? Is Bayamina in the house? All right. I like that, All right, what's the second school we're going for? More Taylor? Merle Taylor? Merle, okay. Merle Taylor, are you all in the house? Okay, a little bit more. A little more. All right, what's the third school? Watson Elementary? JES? Okay. All right. Y'all ready? Okay. Is JES in the house? Respect, respect. All right. Okay, last one. Who's the last one? Bobby Jean? Bobby Jean sounds like a soul food restaurant. I love it. Okay, Bobby Jean in the house. I think they're good. All right, on the count of four, we're gonna try this one last time. We're gonna scream totality. Oh wait, who did I forget? Whitley Lanier? Indian Hill. Oh, Indian Hills. Okay. I thought you said there were 4 schools. That's 5. Okay. Oh, Lakewood, Indian Hills. And Crestwood. Okay. So did you just call it North Little Rock? All right. Is that okay? Is that okay? So is North Little Rock in the house? I love it. And here's how we're going to end. Wait, did I miss anybody? Okay. On the count of 4. 4 is 1 more than, 1 less than. Okay. On the count of, not on the count of, but on the count of, we're going to scream what? On the count of, we're going to scream what? We're going to scream what? We're going to scream what? 1, 2, 3. What kind of assignment says, okay, they're going to pull me off the stage. Let's do this right. Okay. Shh. California windfall. Because we're going to go from total silence to total noise. On the count of 4. California windfall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you all. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the day.
You look like you're tired, but you are about to be energized. We have someone here for you. Do you know what today is? You don't know? So what we're doing today, we have 4 districts that came together. We have Little Rock School District, Jacksonville, North Pulaski, North Little Rock, and Pulaski County Special School District. We've all come together. And I want to tell you something. I live in North Little Rock. I work in Little Rock School District. I used to work in Pulaski County when Jacksonville was together, so I love all of you. So we're happy that you're here. Give yourselves a hand. You're so good. I didn't have to quiet you down. Awesome. So we're going to wake you up. So we have some special people that help you get Eclipse glasses. We have Energy, and we have the Arkansas STEM Coalition. They bought glasses for everybody that's in a school district in Arkansas. So give them a hand. When you leave here, we want you to visit Energy. We want you to visit UA Pine Bluff Fishery. And I couldn't have done this by myself. I have my partner in love. Not partner in crime, but partner in love. Dr. Luttrell. He's going to tell you a little bit about this.
All right, before we get started, I got to wake y'all up. So I want to know what schools are represented. What's this school right here that was singing earlier? What school? What? Landfield? Oh, Lakeview. All right, I want y'all to get loud on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. That was really, and here's the deal. I have actually a prize for the one person who can get the loudest in this group of people. All right, so I'm going to give them one more chance. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Not bad, not bad. I think I saw Landmark. Did Landmark come in here? Oh, we're going to do that one more time. I said, I think I saw Landmark. All right, and then in the back, did I see Baker come in? Baker Elementary. All right, we got to get a little louder, Baker. Baker Elementary. All right, and then in the very back, is there another school? 7th Street Elementary. All right. Williams Magnet. Ooh. How about Driven Virtual Academy? All right, we've got some Driven students here today. I have to say, all right, out of everybody in here, it was all loud. I don't know that I can pick one group. I think you all win. Because really, we're all winners today. I don't know if you guys know this or not. It's almost unprecedented. I don't know of another time that all 4 districts in the metro region were able to come together in a partnership like we have today. So we are so grateful for North Little Rock, for Little Rock School District, Jacksonville North Pulaski, and Pulaski County Special School District. I'm Justin Luttrell. I'm the Director of STEM and Blended Learning at PCSSD. And so we're so grateful to be here. We hope you have fun. I'm about to release y'all to the speaker. When you get done, you've got some great things going on in the back. You've got booths that you're going to get to go explore. There's a fishery right outside the bay, directly on the opposite side of the building right here. And then right out in the front, you saw energy. So, speaking of energy, let's talk about energy. I want to get y'all hyped up before our speaker comes out. So I want everybody to hold up the number 4. Some of y'all are debating. I don't know if I want to hold up 4 or not. Everybody hold up 4. Who can tell me what 4 means? 4 districts. I heard 4 districts, yes. What else can 4 mean? Today, altogether, we've got about 4,000 students that have come or will come through this hall of industry. 4,000 students. And then for everybody that's watching online or they're going to our websites that we've created to download our curriculum or resources, we may be reaching up to 40,000 students throughout all 4 districts today. So on the count of 3, this is what you're going to do. You're going to hold up 4 and you're going to say 4 STEM, 4 totality. Let's practice. 4 STEM, 4 totality. All right, are you ready? On the count of 3, I want you to get loud. 1, 2, 3. One more time. That was great. Dr. Harbin, you want to introduce our guest?
Thank you, Dr. Luttrell. Good afternoon, everyone. How are y'all? Hey, you're out of school? That's exciting, right? Well, my name is Amber Harbin. I'm from North Little Rock School District, so shout out to 7th Street and Glenview in the house today. We've got some more schools that have came through. You guys are in for a very special treat. Are you ready to hear this? We've had 2 amazing speakers this morning, and they've talked to us about STEM and science and space and all the great things, but you guys are in for a special treat because not only is she going to talk about STEM and space and science, she's also going to bring in art. How many of you like art? That's right. So we're going to learn how all these things come together. We're going to learn a little bit about what the Eclipse is about and just how it's impactful in our lives. So I want to introduce Miss Elizabeth Wheatley. She is from the Arkansas Innovation Hub. How many of you have ever been in Innovation Hub? Raise your hand. Yeah, a couple of you guys have. It's there in North Little Rock. Well, she is the Senior Officer of Education. She's been in education for more than 10 years. She was in the classroom, and she also served in the military. So thank you for your service. All right, so she has a passion for environmental causes and received awards. She was also the 2014 eSTEM Educator of the Year. So if you guys would give her a warm Central Arkansas welcome, Miss Elizabeth Wheatley.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There are so many of you. How are you today? Good. So I see my 7th Street people back there. How many of you got to hang out with me on Monday? Did any of you guys get to hang out with me on Monday? Awesome. So you guys are going to recognize some of the things that we have done here today. Have any of you, other than 7th Street, had the Innovation Hub come to your school? Well, y'all better get on to your teachers. All right, so my name is Elizabeth, and just like they said, I work at Arkansas Regional Innovation Hub, and what we do there is we are a maker space. How many of you have heard the term maker space before? Wow, nice, quite a few of you. So some of you who haven't heard the term maker space before can probably guess what I do just based off of the name. We are literally a place you make things, right? So what kind of things do we make, right? We make all kinds of stuff. So we have a full wood shop that has every single tool you could possibly want to use to be able to make anything you want out of wood. So we have a CNC. We have a lathe, which is one of those machines that spins the wood really fast and you can carve it down. We have, obviously, table saws, drill presses, all of those things, right? How many of you guys like to 3D print things? Very cool. So we have a lot of 3D printers at the Innovation Hub. This wonderful little castle, if you can see it, was printed on our 3D printers at the hub. And we do a lot of 3D printing there. We actually have a full ceramic studio. Does anybody like to make stuff out of clay? Very nice. Okay. So we have a full pottery studio where we teach adults and kids how to use the wheel that spins so you can make something out of clay, maybe a bowl or a cup. We've also just got hand building tables, so say you just want to form something with your hands, you can do that. We have a kiln on site so you can fire your work when you're all done and take it home with you and it won't fall apart. But we also got a really exciting piece of equipment. We actually have a 3D printer for clay. So instead of using a filament, it uses clay, and then we can fire that when we're done. We actually have a full screen printing studio. I'm looking at a lot of you wearing screen printed shirts right now. And so how many of you like to maybe come up with shirt designs or think you could come up with a cool one that you could sell? We have a lot of members who do that. So a lot of our members either design cool shirts that they want to sell, or maybe they already have a business and they want to put their logo on their shirt. So a lot of the teachers I see wearing shirts that advertise your school, those are screen printed shirts. But the funnest thing that we do, absolutely by far my favorite, is we actually have schools come to the Innovation Hub to do STEAM field trips with us. That's why I said y'all need to talk to your teachers, because you guys are close enough that you can come and visit us at the hub. But we do have schools that are from pretty far away, and for those schools we have our mobile maker space that will actually come to you. Now, just because you guys are close enough to come to the hub doesn't mean that we won't come to you. We can do that if we need to, because sometimes buses are just hard to get booked. And so we can actually come out to you to do really, really fun STEAM education field trips. But let's talk about what I have for you guys too, okay? We have our after-school programs. Anybody like to build with Legos? Awesome. We have an after-school Lego robotics. Anybody like to make their own video games? Very cool. We have an after-school video game design that also meets once a week. Okay? We have an after-school pottery. Does anybody like to do stained glass by any chance? Stained glass. Have you ever seen like those wonderful church windows that are made out of glass and they form a whole picture when you look at it? We teach that to the youth at the Innovation Hub. And so we make a lot of things, and it just works like a gym membership. You know how you can pay your membership fee and you get to go to the gym and you get to use their equipment to work out? It's the same thing. So you can pay your membership fee, you can come to the hub and use our equipment to make things. And so if you don't know how to use our equipment, maybe you want to learn how to use our lasers. Or maybe you want to learn how to use our clay ceramic 3D printer. We have a class for every single piece of equipment at the Innovation Hub. So if you don't know how to use something, we can offer a class that will teach you how to use it, which is pretty fun. So don't forget, we also have like summer camps for youth. We have spring break camp, and we have our after school program. But something really, really fun is coming this year to the hub. We are going to host the very first Best Buy Teen Tech Center. And what they're going to do is they're bringing music to the hub. So we're going to have a soundproof studio and an editing room so that you guys can learn things like how to make a demo tape or how to make a podcast or how to do a broadcast or a vlog. And it's completely free to teenagers. Very nice. Okay, so all of those are exciting things, but let's go ahead and kind of talk about what I'm here for today. So you guys have been learning a whole lot about the solar eclipse as it's getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And we did have two other speakers, and they are both incredibly smart doctors that were doing some stuff on science. I learned a lot from listening to Dr. Jones talk right before I came on. But I want to talk to you just a little bit about something different, because we talk about STEM education, right? Science, technology, engineering, and math. But when we talk about STEAM education, we're adding in art. So science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. So what I'm going to do today is a little bit of a demonstration. This is the one this is not plugged in. All right, so this is the one that I actually got to do with 7th Street the other day. Just a sec. All right, so what we did was we started with something very simple. Guys, if we boil down the solar eclipse into its just basic parts, what we essentially have is we have light, and we have a shadow, right? Anybody in here done shadow puppets before? All right, so we kind of did something fun where we got to play with light and shadow, but we did it with a little bit of a twist. So everybody gets a box, and everybody's box is a little different. And what we have to do is we start by just experimenting. What do the different things do when they interact with the light? Okay. What happens when I move the light really, really close? And then if I move it way, way far back, what's happening? It's getting way smaller, right? So we always start by just testing things out. We call it tinkering. Maybe your teachers call it playing. But we play with the things just to see what they might do when they interact with the light. So once we've kind of gotten pretty comfortable, right, then we might set up something kind of cool. I say it's setting up a scene. So if I set up a little scene, I have my Jaguar, I have my trees. I'm going to make it festive with a little palm tree here too. And I also have this insect. It's just weird. But let me ask you guys this. Can somebody, maybe somebody kind of close, so I'm going to be picking on you, tell me what's a possible thing that's happening in this scene with my little Jaguar? What do you think is happening? Can I call on you? Is that okay? I'm going to put the microphone to you. Okay.
The rainforest.
Very good. So what could be happening in the rainforest? Somebody else? What's happening in this rainforest right now?
The jaguar found some food.
Perfect. The Jaguar found some food. Now, here's the thing that I always like to relate back to a bunch of my kiddos, because I used to be a teacher. And I'm just going to go ahead and dispel the myth for you guys right now. Teachers don't love test taking any more than you love taking tests. But what I always show my students that I get to talk to is we just made up a story about a jaguar finding food in the rainforest, and we did it with just objects in a box. We told a story out of stuff. So you guys remember that whenever you're starting to look at writing stories. You don't have to have a lot to go on to be able to be creative and be really fun and have fun with it. Make sure that you guys are writing things that you want to read. All right, so pretty cool. A fun way that we can play with light and shadow. You guys could even do something similar to this at home if you wanted to, right? Because everybody can find like a flashlight and a blank wall, and then you learn how to make like the dog and stuff with your hand. I can't do it, but I can do a bird. And then that one's good. These guys already got it, okay? I want to show you guys something else though, because shadows are fun, but a solar eclipse doesn't happen without the sun, does it? Nope. So I'm going to show you guys some fun stuff that you can kind of be thinking about. This is an older art form called printmaking. And what it does is it starts with a block. Now this block was actually cut out on our lasers at the Innovation Hub. We have a very talented member who makes all kinds of really fun blocks like this. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to look at, I had my base. So all this is a type of ink. Do you have a question? Yeah, okay, so what she said to me was at East Conference, they got to do this. Is anybody else in here in East? Very cool. Okay, so we go to East Conference every single year, and you're absolutely right. We got to actually do this on the print press at East Conference. But you just start with some ink, and then this thing of solar color dust. It's only about $4. And we have used it a lot, and I still have over half of it left. So it goes a long, long ways. But can I get a volunteer to hold something for me? Perfect. Will you help me out? Hop up. Thank you. People in the front row tell me, what color is that? Y'all can see it too? Green? All right. So what this is it's a UV type dust. And it causes a chemical reaction when it's exposed to UV light. And then the longer it's exposed, the darker it's going to turn, and it's eventually actually going to change to almost a red color or a rust color. So I have to give it a little bit of time. Now go ahead and show them. And then as it stops being exposed, it's actually going to turn back to green again. Okay? I can show you guys again right down here. Can I get someone down here to help me out? Let's see. Let me grab you. I'm going to come back. Can you hop up? Same thing. Can you guys see this a little bit better? All right. So this flashlight that I bought is a UV flashlight, which is not like a regular flashlight. So if you shine a regular flashlight on this, it's really not going to do anything. But this is a UV light, and so it's actually going to create my chemical reaction for me because it's going to kind of be my fake sun. There we go. See that? Right before your very eyes. I know, I'm like Harry Potter. All right, so beyond that, we've also got another activity that lets you interact with the sun just a little bit. But I'm gonna be honest, this one really does need real sun. I can show you a little bit of what it's gonna do, but the best thing to do is to actually take it outside, and I'll show you those examples. But this one is called cyanotypes. Have any of you heard of cyanotype? Okay, so what this is it's a special type of paper that has also been, I guess, soaked in a chemical, and it interacts with the sun, but it does it a little bit differently. So what I do is I can take something simple like a feather. This is a feather from a peacock that a friend of mine owned. And when I take this paper out, as soon as it comes out of the package, I actually have to move as fast as possible. And the reason is because it starts getting exposed the minute you take it out of the bag. And so I have to get my pattern on top of that paper and get it exposed to the sun as fast as I can. So I'm going to move kind of fast, but not so fast you can't see, because I've got a lot of examples I can show you. So it's my paper, and I can take my feather and stick it on top. And then same thing, except for, like I said, these don't do great exposure for this particular thing, but I am going to show you guys here in just a minute. Let me show you. We also have to time it. You have to leave it exposed for about a minute. Now, mine's not going to expose very well. I told you guys that. But let me show you guys what does happen if you use one outside and you leave it out there for quite a while. Now, this one was left outside for a really long time. You can really see the difference in this, right? This one wasn't left outside as long, but the pattern is still there. And you don't have to just do fun, outside things. This one is a razorback. Right? So we can go ahead and take a look. So sorry. I'm so sorry. I was just waking y'all up. I did that on purpose. Oh, wow. So here's what happened to mine. Do you guys want to see? I set the lights directly on top of it. Now, the only way to stop this interaction and to make it quit exposing is to actually run it under cold water. That'll make it stop, and then whatever you're left with after that is exactly how your picture looks. So you just set it out to dry, which is why these papers look a little crinkled, because they were wet at one time. All right, so I'm doing great on time because I have just enough time to tell you guys that there are a ton of wonderful activities that you can do, art with the sun. And we are going to be doing a lot of those activities on Saturday at the Innovation Hub, as well as on Monday. So if you guys are looking for some fun things to do with your family, we will be open on Monday and you guys could come out. But do you guys have any questions about the Innovation Hub, or about field trips, or about after school, or about any of the things? What's your question? I wish we did. Okay. Next question. What was your, yeah. You come back. What's her question? Very good question. Thank you so much for asking that. Okay, they asked what times we're open. That's a really good question. So we open Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock, and then we are closed on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We close at 6, but Tuesdays and Thursdays we're open extra long. We're open until 8. Now, on Saturdays, we're open the first and third Saturday of every month from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So you guys can come in and visit us then. What's your question? That's a great question. So basically, she was asking how come the reaction was so strong on the one thing but then not on the other. And I think it just has to do with the type of chemicals that are in each one because they are a little bit chemically different. All right, but that is a wonderful question, and I'm so glad that you noticed that. Very good job. Yes. Very good question. So she asked, do I go to every school? Well, every school hasn't invited me yet, but if they do, then the answer will be yes. I do want to make sure that I get to visit as many schools in the state of Arkansas as humanly possible. So if I have not been to your school yet, bother those teachers for me, please. All right, any other questions? All right, great.